Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be focusing on font styles. So if you had chosen a font for your logo, then you are already halfway there. So for me, I used a font called Mixer, and I kind of took into consideration where I might use this, and I liked a bold one, so I thought I'm going to use the same thing for my heading styles. And in order to edit this here, I just highlighted the heading by double clicking on it, and then this is the font section here. So click this drop down, and out is going to pop a sidebar which has a list of all the different fonts that you can use. Okay, so have a look down at the ones that you like. The other thing that you can do is go to Google Fonts, because Google Fonts has a large variety of fonts, and I'll show you how to go there. Google Fonts. It's probably the best database of fonts out there. And also the cool thing is that Divi uses Google Fonts. So every single font that you'll find in Google Fonts, you'll be able to use in Divi. Unfortunately, Canva is a bit more limited when it comes to fonts. So it has the ones that are free, and it has the ones that are premium for Canva Pro users. I am a Canva Pro user. That's why I was able to get Mixer, because it's a pro font, a premium font. But if you have the free version, it will be quite limited. And it's up to you whether you want to spend that money. You certainly do not have to spend that money, because there are plenty of free fonts out there that will look really, really great. And you don't need anything fancy. I find one of the biggest things that kind of make people's websites look unprofessional is that they will choose a really crazy font, a really crazy like a heading font that kind of looks cool but also doesn't look very professional. I think it's best to not spend too much time on a font, but choose something that is quite simple and represents your brand. And I'll just give you some of my thoughts. If you have a very upbeat and playful brand, then I would go with Poppins, because it's quite fun, it's quite upbeat, it's bold, it's very versatile. We like to use it in OBL. There's also Open Sans. Open Sans is super common. You can use it for paragraph, for heading, and I like it because it looks good as a heading, as bold, but it also looks really great as paragraph. What else is there? League Spartan, I think, is looks really cool as a heading one. Montserrat, I think, looks really great. It's quite more sophisticated. Yep. But have a look. Norwester, also very cool as a heading. Definitely not for paragraph. Oswald, good for headings, but maybe not paragraphs as well. Roboto is a very great paragraph font. So have a look around. And what I would recommend that you do is, once you have found a heading that you like, go to Google Fonts, type in what that heading font is. So I'm going to have a look at Mixer. Is it here? It's not even here. Must be a special Canva font. Is it definitely Mixer? It is Mixer. Anyway, let's look at Stella. That was one that I saw before. No, it wasn't even there. Well, Google Font doesn't have all the fonts, but that's okay. Let's go Quicksand. So here we go. quite playful with the rounded corners. Anyways, we want the point of doing this is we want to find what it goes with. So if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a section called popular pairings with quicksand. So this is what people like to pair it with. So it's important that your fonts match each other and work well with each other. So you wouldn't want two crazy fonts being put together because that could potentially look really weird. And you'll notice the more that you look at popular pairings, you'll start to see a trend. And that trend is that there are some fonts that work well with everything. and some of those fonts are Open Sans, which is this one. Roboto, which we talked about before, this one. See, it's quite simple. There's nothing super special about it, but they are great. They're very universal. They're going to look good anyway. You can't really go wrong with them. Montserrat, I quite like that. Lato, it's also really nice. And I quite like Railway, actually. This is really good. I think it's good for maybe large chunks of writing if you're going to be doing like blog posts and stuff like that. Anyway, depends on what you like. If you want, then you can, have a look to see what it would look like here. So if you really like Railway as the paragraph text, you can keep it as regular. But if you want to see what it looks like with quicksand as bold, then you can click bold there and see how that looks. It's okay. Let's try this one. Yep. And once you've figured out one that you like, then you can go back to your style guide here and then change it. So what you can do is copy this, you would click on here, you'd type in the one that you like, and then you would click it. And then what I did was change the font to whatever it was called. So if it was quicksand, then you would type quicksand in there, and so on. You don't have to follow this structure here. It's just something that I like to use for my headings. I mean, it doesn't always stay that way, but I've got size 31.5 as pixels. Style is uppercase and bold. So if you click on here, it's in uppercase, not lowercase. And I've made it bold, not unbold. And then my headings too are just uppercase as well, but no bold. Okay. And slightly smaller, 24 pixels. And then heading 3, I've kept it as a lowercase, and the style is just that, it is bold. Okay, so here feel free to change those to suit you. And then here finally I decided to mix it with Stella. Stella. Size 16, and 16 is a very general, normal website paragraph text font size. Okay. So there we go. That's how we do our font styles. It may change depending on how we start building our website, but that's totally fine. This is a really great place to start, and you have created your style guide. Now, having something like this is going to be so helpful for you when it comes to building your website, and it's going to make it look really, really consistent, and it's going to save you a lot of time in repeating yourself as well. So once you've done this, please click on the embed it and share it in the feedback space, because we would love to see your style guide and see how it's going and to give you feedback. Yeah, all right. So what we're going to do now is show you how you can add this color palette and add your font styles and your logos to Divi, to your website, to make it easy to use. All right, see you in the next video.